Hey everybody, this is Damien and with Surrogate Alternatives. And on today's Surrogate Buzz, we're talking about the documentary that we filmed called I'm like having a brain freeze, Expecting Juliana. And coming up now. Hey everybody. So we are laughing because I am exhausted and having a brain freeze. So I don't. So excuse me as if you see me pausing for a bit and trying to gather my thoughts. I've been up all night with a newborn. What 3 weeks? She's 25 days old, 26 days old. So
That's so awesome. I'll
yeah,
try to pick up the slack for you. Be like,
right. No, I appreciate it.
your brain just like turns to mush when you have a small child at home. So,
Oh my God, 16 years I've been. I haven't done this in 16 years, so you can imagine how I'm going.
hmm everything
So
is so different. Everything is so different just in a couple of years, let alone 16.
yeah,
So,
yeah, yep. We'll talk a little bit more as we get into it. But how are you doing?
I'm good.
Yeah,
It's Monday. The weather's beautiful. So,
yeah.
you know,
Can't
nothing to be
complain.
upset about.
I know I saw a video of everybody out in DC. They were all in shorts, and it looked like it was so nice. The weather was
Yeah.
nice.
It went from like us having this like roller coaster of weather from it being chilly to being really hot. And now it seems like it's leveling out to, 80s, high 80s, low 90s. But
Nice.
oh, that humidity is like hitting
Yeah.
lately. And you're like, okay, calm down. It's
Right.
only like the first week of June. Um, but I mean, I guess it could be worse. So
That is, when I lived out there, the mugginess was the thing that I didn't like the most. It was just like,
mhm.
ugh, yeah.
Because
But
you walk out and it's like, okay, I can deal with 85, 88,
right,
but then you walk out and like it's so humid, it just like smacks you in the face. And you're like, oh, and my hair just goes, ooh. It's just like, calm down.
right. So we are here talking about Expecting Juliana, which is the documentary that I filmed. Last month. I'm like, I don't even know when now. Last month, but if you
Probably
haven't,
feels like a year.
it does. It's like in dog years. But if you're out there watching, and I know I see a few of you out there, feel free to leave a comment, say hi to us, tell us how you're doing, and if you have any, questions, please let us know. But yeah, so I just wanted to quickly get on here. I know we filmed the documentary, put it up online, and yeah, it was something that we wanted to do, or I wanted to do, because with this whole pandemic thing going on, I just felt awful of what was going on with the surrogates, all
Mhm.
around, just not our surrogates, just surrogates in general. And it bummed me out. I just felt
Yeah.
like they were missing. Some of them are going to be missing out on something amazing. Not to say that that's going to define your journey, but that
Mhm.
point where you can give the baby over to the parents. And so I felt like I needed to document it for some reason, to tell the story.
And it's great because your journey, going there are a lot of people's journeys right now. The
Yeah,
surrogates delivering, they're having to find somebody. A lot of POAs are doing the same kind of feeling and traveling and all of those things that you did, and it was like it really struck a chord in
yeah,
me. Like as soon as the music hit, I was just like, oh my god, like
yeah,
just it's so there's just so many different aspects of that video of just preparation and getting there and like baby coming and then taking care of the baby and you're doing all this because the IPs cannot be here, and it's great that you documented it because they'll have that for the rest of their lives to
right.
show her like this is the time that you came into the world and this is what happened.
Yeah, it was like I said, I wanted to document it, just because I wanted the story to be told, but I didn't know how I was going to tell it at first. I was just like documenting just to do it. But I also was, I knew that we were in a different position than most people because I was able to take my cameras and go out there and kind of film whatever I needed to. But I also knew that I wanted to honor. our surrogate Carolina in a way, also, just because she wasn't getting that experience as well, that she thought she was going to get at the end. But yeah, I mean, we drove from San Diego all the way to Texas. We didn't want to fly just because it was kind of in the midst of the whole, pandemic, and we didn't want to get sick on a plane. So we
And
drove
more
out there.
so, you'd have to fly back with a baby.
Yeah, and that's
which
the other
is,
thing.
is like, okay, for me, I can wear a mask, but like, what do I do for this, infant child that's going to have to travel?
Yeah, exactly.
Very soon after birth, for that matter.
Yeah, and so we drove out there, and I'm telling you, when we drove, there was like just truckers out there. It was so eerie, and there was like no traffic, nothing. We'd stop off to get something, and it was like empty. It was just the weirdest thing in the world traveling from here over there. Not to mention that there's nothing to see, and you know this because you've done it. There's nothing to see. New Mexico, there's nothing. Yeah. I'm like, oh my God, when will this state end? Because it just kept going and going, and I'm like, whoa. So we got to Texas. I'd never been to Texas. I drove through Texas going to school in Maryland, but never been to Texas before that or after that. And so got to Texas and a small little town called Midland out there, if anybody's familiar with it, Midland, Texas. And so we just, when we started filming, or I started filming, it was at that point was we were going to the hospital in the morning. And I just remember feeling so nervous and so afraid, because I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to be responsible for this baby, and this is huge.
Yeah.
And it took me back to my early 20s when I was having my own daughter, and I'm like, oh my God, you're going through the anxiety of having a baby. So, it was just the weirdest thing, just knowing that in a few hours I was going to be handed this little miracle that, Carolina's been working on for, all these months, and the IVF clinics. And I think it really hit me when Diana was texting me, and I was in my own room, and Diana was downstairs with Carolina, and it hit me that they were going to be coming up soon. And I'm like, this little baby, that's going to be coming in, is the culmination of so much work, of so much that went into it. And it was just so powerful at that moment because you knew that everybody put so much work into it, and so for me, it was just like, it was overwhelming, in a sense. And I just turned the camera on and I just started talking. I didn't put a lot of it on there. I didn't put most of it on there. It was just me just rambling. So
I can imagine.
Yeah.
You're like, I just need to get my thoughts out because that's the only way my head's going to clear.
Yeah. And so we went out to the hospital, and the hospital was on lockdown because of the virus. So people couldn't really go in there, but at least they weren't on as much of a lockdown as California hospitals, because we were able to go in there, and I was able to go to my room, and Diana was there to support Carolina as well.
Yeah.
So that worked out well. I was able to say hello to her, and everybody was super sweet at the hospital. When you travel, you never know what you're going to get, but Midland, Texas is super sweet. They're all nice, super awesome.
So did you contact the intended parents as soon as baby was born, or?
I don't know who did. I know I was in contact as well, so it could have been on both sides. I just don't know.
Okay.
But yeah, I was in contact and letting them know that everything was going well. And then they brought the baby in, and I was taking photos and sending it to the parents, letting them know. So it was really weird, because after all that kind of the fanfare of everyone being in the room, everybody left. Dad had to leave, and I'm there by myself, and I'm going, oh my God, what do I do? And so
exactly, what do I do? I remember that feeling just as like a new parent, like coming home from the hospital and just like putting the baby down, like, okay, what do we do now? You know?
Exactly. I'm like, and they're all, so this is what you do. And I'm like, okay, yeah, it's coming back to me. It really did start coming back to me.
Yeah.
But it was just so funny because I was just caught off guard. I'm like, okay. So, and Diana was like, all right, I'm going to leave now. I'm like, no. Like, don't leave yet. So finally, and Catalina was in the room next door, and she's like, if you need me, let me know, bring the baby over, all that. So she was awesome.
That's great.
Honestly, I just wanted to give her some rest, and so.
Yeah. But that's good that she was next to you, and that, she was able to, still see the baby, and you guys were able to go, in there before you left, and she, was able to get that, that closure, which I feel like some surrogates don't get, especially like in this time. So
Agree. Yeah.
that's good. I mean, like you mentioned, like a lot of the intended parents aren't here. So you've, done this whole journey waiting to get to that point of, I can't wait to see my intended parents with their baby. And in some of the journeys, it's just not happening. So that
Yeah.
closure is definitely something that you look forward to that they're not getting. So that's good that she was able to see the baby and at least know that she was being taken care of.
Yeah. It's so true. And it was in looking back, it was such a special time. Now that I've had some time to kind of think about it all. It was just special, just that she was there. I was, on the next room, and we were able to communicate and see each other. And
Uh-huh.
it was good. And I just, at that point throughout the night, I was just thinking about other surrogates who were in the situation as well,
Uh-huh.
and thinking about them. So my thoughts were with them, and what they were going through. So yeah. And then we ended up leaving the hospital. We left, and we were going to drive back to San Diego. So we did the big old drive from San Diego back to the hospital, I think the following day or 2 days later. And the baby, she's just amazing. Julianne's so awesome because she'll sleep. At that point she was sleeping because the car was putting her to sleep.
Uh-huh.
So we had a good drive back. But I think the overall, the power of surrogacy, I had to think about it so much because I wasn't a surrogate, but I was given, this baby to take care of,
Uh-huh.
and to me, it felt like I was sort of grateful for the fact that I was able to take care of her and be in the position that I'm in as SAI, because
Yeah.
obviously I'm never going to be a surrogate, but, but just to have that sort of experience and that bond, with the situation that went on,
Uh-huh.
it gave me a little extra, insight into, surrogacy,
Yeah.
that I don't get to see ever. Taking the baby and caring for the baby, for a while, and so, yeah, I just,
Essentially being at a birth as well. I mean, you weren't in there,
right.
but I mean, it's not every day that you're like, hey, surrogate, can I show up to the hospital and sit in a room next to you,
Right.
you know? So
Yeah.
it's cool because you got to experience that side of it where you're going to the delivery and the excitement, the intended parents feel when they get that call, like, hey, I'm
Right.
going in. And,
Yeah.
and obviously it's cool because Diana, got to be a support person and, which I'm sure
Yeah.
Carolina loved. So
Yeah, absolutely. And I can't stress enough the power behind it, behind the surrogacy, behind the experience, behind being that, temporary intended parent. It was just so deep. And I wanted to take it there. I didn't want to just gloss over it because I just didn't feel I was doing it justice. I wanted to take it, deeper and just think about like this child that Catalina gave birth to. She's gone through to get to this point where she's a baby in my hands has gone through so much,
yeah,
and so I don't think most people really understand, surrogacy. We think about it as, oh, you have a surrogate, you go to the IVF clinic and then you're done, and you give birth.
yeah,
So, but just to look at her and go, oh my gosh, this baby was, born out of science, with love, and we had a surrogate, and she had to go through so much, and now the intended parents, and so I just wanted,
it took a whole, what do they call that? It takes a village.
yeah, no,
So
for
it
sure,
did. It's been a whole village between the doctors and the surrogate, the parents who
right,
created, and now you guys who have taken over.
yeah,
To care for her until her parents can get here. So it does. It takes a lot of people
yeah,
to
no, for
help a
sure,
child.
yeah. So anyhow, if there's anybody has any comments, questions or comments, please let us know. Um, and I guess that's pretty much it. I mean,
Yeah.
right
I mean, we
now,
know a lot of you guys are going through this same thing, or maybe you're just starting your journey and you're kind of thinking, since, all this COVID is so up in the air and we really don't know, week to week what's gonna play out. And so I know it goes through a lot of surrogates' heads, like, well, what happens if, my intended parents aren't gonna be here and things like that. Um, there are definitely things put in place if that were to happen, but it's definitely it's something hard to grasp because
Right.
this isn't anything that we've had to deal with in 21 years of being in business, and so um, we're definitely learning new things every day on how to facilitate through these hard times. So
Yeah, I agree. And this was, and I think I said in the documentary, this wasn't in anybody's, back of their mind. We didn't know this was going to
right.
happen, in our wildest dreams, all of us didn't ever think that this would happen, that, we'd be in a
Hmm.
situation. I will say that for the better, it has gotten, it didn't get to, the effect of the situation didn't affect us too much, or this, it
Hmm.
didn't
Yeah,
affect
right.
SAI too much. For those of us, or those of the surrogates that did affect, we were able to handle it, differently and
Hmm.
properly. For some of us, we're still, have the baby and we're still, taking care of it. Um, I wanted to, Becca. Hey, Becca, how's it going? She says, so proud. Thank you, Becca. We miss you and can't wait to see
We
you.
do miss you.
Um, Patty says, Patty says, it literally takes a village of very unselfish, willing people to bring forth a surrogacy. It's a blessing for all involved and can make a lifelong friendships. Absolutely, Patty. Well said. And I think
It,
that's it. Being
hmm.
selfless. That's what
Well,
it's
and
all
just
about.
knowing like I need to help, like that feeling of just like I need to help, and it could be
Right.
that have the baby, like surrogate side of it. It could be egg donor where they want to help create, or right now you guys like helping because someone couldn't get here to take their baby and they just didn't have any other option. So just that helping feeling that you get um, in one way or another, that just helps everything move along and the surrogacy gets completed. It's so great.
Yeah, I do love. I do love, even though it was a situation none of us thought we'd be in. I do love the positivity that all the surrogates had, and that
Hmm.
they didn't let the situation define their journey. Because hey, it didn't go the way you wanted it to, but you didn't let that define you.
Yeah.
You still created a family. You still built a family. You still have this amazing little baby, and maybe it might have taken a couple days for your intended parents to get there, but at the end of the day, things are working out and you created this family,
Yeah. Yeah.
Rosalind, Rosalinda says, Rosalinda says, I wish SAI would have been with me at the hospital, but I'm lucky my IP is local.
Oh,
So,
that's great. We wish we could have been there too. That's
yeah,
one of the things we definitely miss right now is not being allowed to, come into some of the doctor's offices or hospitals.
right.
Um, but the good thing is everybody is staying safe, can't talk, safe and healthy.
Yeah,
Um, and hopefully we'll get through this and one day we'll just go back to
right.
normal business, fingers crossed.
Yeah. And that's why I was so shocked that Texas was really, open about, they were tight in the sense that they weren't letting a lot of people in, but they were, open to helping us out. So
Yeah.
because of the situation. So
Yeah.
Patty says, I've been a surrogate 3 times and I am very happy I was able to help families. Well, we're
Mhm.
happy that we're happy that you're happy, and that you were able to create these families, Patty. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
It's an amazing feeling. I tell surrogates that every day when I talk to them. I'm like, it makes your heart grow so much bigger.
Yeah.
You think like, oh, I love my kids and I can't, there's no more love that I could give. And that's like so wrong,
Right.
because when you are surrogate and you just see, this family being built, like it literally makes your heart grow so much bigger. And you just have a different type of love that you probably never knew existed
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
because it's different from your own kids,
Yeah.
but it's still something that I'm so happy and glad that I was able to experience.
Right. And with Juliana, I look at her and it's the same way. I look at her, I'm like, oh my gosh, she's so precious. She's just in this world, in this crazy, she was born in this crazy time. And, it's just to be able to look at her and just have this overwhelming feeling that this baby needs you, and
Mm-hmm.
to survive. So Carol is on and she says, hello.
Hi, Carol.
Hello, Carol.
Hi, Carol.
So yeah, So Juliana now she's 26 days old. She is doing fantastic. She didn't sleep last night, so I'm so tired. But she did sleep
Story of a
a little
newborn
bit.
life.
Yeah, exactly. It's always, at their, you have to follow them. So she wants
Yep.
to go to sleep, she'll go to sleep. And, if you can't fall asleep, that's on you. so,
She says, too
so,
bad, I'll see you in 3 hours.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Nicole. Hello, Nicole.
Hi, Nicole.
Hey. And yeah, so we just,
I'm so glad you guys did the documentary, though. It literally, like, I don't know about anybody else, maybe just because I've been a surrogate and like I work in the industry, but I just loved it. It made me cry, and I just kept thinking about, like you, I just kept thinking about the whole situation, just everything in general, and just, I don't know, it just struck a chord with me, and I'm so happy you did it, and I'm sure the intended parents are very thankful. And it's just cool to see, just another aspect of surrogacy and what's happening right now. Because I feel like it's a very common thing with the surrogacy world. So
right, and that's exactly it. And the story's out there, and this is just one of many being told. It just so happens to affect us personally, as agency owners and staff, here a little bit more than others. And I am grateful for being put in the situation where I can see something different other than what I normally see. But the documentary, I wanted it to really just what it's supposed to do is just document what we're going through, the feeling of the pandemic, that we were dealing with, or the feeling that we all had to scramble, which we did. And Nicole, props to you, and the other staff members for going out there and handling all that. And it was just, I wanted to give that feeling because I wanted to document it, because one day we're going to look back on this and, we're just going to say, hey, this is a crazy time. But the video, I think we can look back at the video and say, wow, this is what we went through. So that's one of the reasons I did the video, just to document what's been going on and to kind of get closer to the situation.
Yeah, it was great. So, I hope you guys all enjoyed it too.
Becca says it had my mom and I in tears. Aw.
Oh, see, it just brings a chord, and then you see the baby. It's like, oh.
Right. Yep.
Oh, I love it.
Yep. So we, do you have anything at all that you wanted to add? I know that I think if you haven't seen the video and you're on now, I recommend as soon as you get off here, go out there and watch the video.
For sure. Yeah. If this is your first time on our Facebook, welcome. But there's lots of great things that Damien puts up for us to see. Our support girls take pictures at deliveries and transfers and, heartbeat ultrasounds, like everything, like our whole Facebook page and our Instagram, like encompass surrogacy, to a T, and I love it. So definitely check out the video. Keep watching it, because it like, I watched it a few times and I just loved it so much. But yeah, there's lots of great tools on there, lots of great videos. We have lots of, Facebook live videos that you can watch. So you can just kind of see, learn new things, especially if you're a new surrogate, looking to sign up. There's lots of great content on there.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we do appreciate everybody hanging out with us here on the Surrogate Buzz. We are going to be back next week again with a new topic. So we love for you to get back on here with us and join us. Rebecca, how can they find us? I think...
So you can go on our Facebook. It's under Surrogate Alternatives. You can also check us out on Insta. It's SAI Agency. If you're a surrogate out there, tag us in your pictures and videos. We love to see that stuff. And then also check us out on surrogatealternatives.com. Lots of really great information on there as well. So if you are driving to work, if you're now back to work, or if you need something to listen to, don't forget our podcasts on Spotify and iTunes, Surrogate Alternatives. Those are just some really great things to listen to as well, especially if you are looking to be a surrogate. Past surrogates we've interviewed and gotten some really great information from them. So, but we're happy that you join us on here. We look forward to this every week. So don't forget to give us a little heart. You could share this.
Yeah, we do appreciate it. And for everybody who saw the documentary, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch that. And thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to be with us today.
Yeah.
Marley says,
Hi,
Damien,
Marley.
Damien, what you did was amazing. Rebecca, you look stunning. Have a great day. Oh, thank you so much,
Oh,
Marley. We
thanks,
appreciate it.
Marley.
Sincerely, thank you so much. But yeah, so thank you, everybody. And we look forward to seeing you next week. And we'll have another topic for you. And thank you again. Alrighty. Talk to you soon.
See you
Bye.
guys.